This week, coming up from the ashes.
Oh, that's
There you go.
interesting.
I feel like this is secretly a ploy to get rid of Phoenix.
Right. Jeez, guys.
Hey, what?
ask me
I'm
to
all
leave.
for it. Let's do it. You know, new Supreme Leader host, Arson is Clown. I will relieve Bones of his duties so I don't also get axed. Put in a knapsack and then in a river floating downstream.
All right, well, I'll just take my leave.
On that note,
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, people of the court. Welcome to From the Ashes podcast and another episode of our spooky. I forgot what the hell it was called. Welcome back to
Spooktober.
Spooky Month. Yeah, Spooktober, Spooky Month. From the Ashes presents whatever. I don't care.
spookuary.
Spookuary. That's I don't know. Anyways,
And I'm joined here today by Zhombi and Phoenix. How you guys doing?
Adequate.
Awkward silence.
I am adequate.
I am not adequate, but I'm here anyways. So
Anything interesting happen in your lives?
Let's see.
I've been fired from my primary job. How's that for interesting?
Ouch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Luckily, you still got this job, and I'm gonna raise your cut to double of what you were making before.
Thank you.
Which is what? 2 breathfuls of air?
A nice pat on
Hey,
the back.
you're getting 2 breathfuls. I'm not even getting 1.
I just doubled you, so you now can.
Yeah, I'm at half now.
Half mass.
I didn't say that.
So you're a full mass. That's kind of awkward.
Hey, look. Look, you can't see me. What I do under the table.
But I'm sitting right across from you, man. Jeez. Kind of.
Yeah, but you still can't see.
That's true. All right, so for that intro, that was quite interesting. Arson, get this under control, man. Come on.
Why do I gotta put it under control?
Because you're the host.
Alright. Well, we're here today with another spooky-esque topic, because why not? I mean, that's the whole point. And that is picking a killer that would torment us for the rest of our lives. Now, the inspiration I've gotten from this is from a video that I saw a long time ago, which is called The Horribly Slow Murder with the Extremely Inefficient Weapon. Now, the plot of this video was some random guy who was just living his life, suddenly being harassed by this hooded, terrifying looking figure who hits him over and over again with a spoon.
I've seen that.
And over the course of the video, he just, if you haven't seen it, then you should definitely go do that because it is an extremely funny video. But over the course of his life, he just gets completely harassed by this guy. Whether it's an inconvenience from, like, I don't know, hitting him while he's doing something like shaving, or just being an absolute nuisance and just hitting him in general, over and over again. I have taken the privilege of taking this concept and spreading it amongst a vast array of killers that we're going to talk about. So, this could generate from the infamous Jason Voorhees to Freddy Krueger to Ghostface. We could expand this to different sorts of slashers, but only slashers. Want to keep it small. And the rules for this are going to be that they cannot kill you. Killing is off the table when it comes to you. Now, me and Zombie had a slight discussion about this where we could adjust the rules accordingly. And I don't know if you guys want to do that really quick. Make some rules before we get started.
Okay.
I believe one of the rules I brought up was no killing friends or family.
Okay.
How do we feel about that?
I mean,
I'm fine with that.
I am too. However, can you truly be tormented if,
Well, so like,
I mean,
but you don't know that. Like,
the
they
spoon-
can't.
the
But
spoon
that's the
killer
kind of like,
the spoon killer never went for his family members, and he's still miserable.
well, that's true, but
I mean,
that's tapping of the spoon like crazy, and that's
I kind of took it as they have that rule, but you don't necessarily know that.
mhm.
Yeah,
Like, you don't know that they can't target your family.
Ooh, that's not bad.
maybe they could prank you, like they're going to do it, and maybe they left it ambiguous to as if they did.
Yeah, you know what I think of real quick? When you were talking about the spoon one, have you ever seen the video where Jigsaw moves in with a roommate?
Oh yeah, living with Jigsaw,
Yeah,
the small little puppet.
it's so freaking hilarious. So yeah, I kind of think of that too. So, anyways, but yeah,
Okay,
I'll
so
agree. I'll agree to those terms.
we will make that a rule, but without you knowing it. I think we can agree to that.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. No confining you to one place. So like, leaving you in the basement tied up or something, or locking you up in a room.
The point is living your
Uh,
life while being tormented.
Yeah, that's basically another rule to see if you guys want to agree to it or not.
I mean, I was going into this thinking that, so yeah, I agree to that.
Use you bones.
No, what was it again?
No confining to one place, so like no like tying you up or locking you in a room or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, but like permanently or just like for any period of time?
Yeah, permanently. I
Okay,
think like for a period of time. I think that's fair.
okay.
Right.
If they want to play a particularly mean prank
And
on you,
they have a free weekend, you get tied up.
you get tied up from Saturdays till Mondays.
That's
All right,
fair.
and the final one that I've brought up, no torture of any physical kind. So like, pulling your nails out or something like that.
What about tickling?
I guess there can be some exceptions to the rules.
like
I
nonstop
don't
tickling. Oh gosh.
I don't know if you want Freddy Krueger tickling you though.
As long as he uses his right hand. I don't know which hand it's on, but
He more than likely won't. Anyways, how are we feeling about this?
I feel pretty strong about that.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe not extreme torture.
Yeah.
I mean, you are still being tortured, but
Mhm.
not any serious, life-threatening torture where you're like missing a finger or something.
Right. No, come on. Not even after 5 years, just he takes a baby toe. He or she.
It's our 5th anniversary.
That's 2 toes. It's the 2-toe anniversary.
I've taken your ring finger. We're practically married now.
All right. So those are the 3 rules that I have proposed. If you have any additional ones, speak now or forever hold your peace. All right then. I guess that settles it.
Yes.
Well, now we go into the discussing phase.
Hold on. Let me ask this real quick before we go into. What if the movie consists of multiple ones? Like the slasher.
Multiple slashers.
Yes. What if it are you picking one of those slashers or are you picking the group?
I feel like technically speaking, one for all, right?
Right. Like for instance, I'm not going to say this because I don't think anybody's chosen these guys, but like the Gremlins. They're considered slashers, right? I mean, for real. So having a group of gremlins tormenting you all the time, because that wasn't even on my list, okay? But I'm just using that, or the killer clowns, stuff like that. So you deal with one clown, you deal with them all. but the good thing is you get free cotton candy for the rest of your life. So
Might want to check the inside before you start digging in, but yeah, sure, man.
This one's kind of moist. What? No.
Okay, as much as I would like to include all, let's just say for the sake of keeping it simple, that it would only be one.
Okay, what how about this? Let's say it's per while we discuss it, it's per case. Like if it involves like a group that like are needed on each other. Not saying that we'll come across that, but just maybe we could say just in case.
Are you suggesting that they like clock out and take shifts?
Maybe, I don't know. But you'll understand when I bring one up. I'm not honestly saying that I'm going to be bringing it up for myself, but I may bring it up and mention. So that's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, with the two you've already mentioned, with the Gremlins and Killer Clowns, both of those just by themselves are already a nuisance.
Right? Oh, I know.
So I don't know why you would want like the entire freaking neighborhood of gremlins and the entire armada of killer clowns to be bothering you for the rest of your life.
The gremlins would be funny though.
For like
I mean,
5 minutes.
I can see it as like it would be even more tormenting if they took shifts. Like they tapped out because like especially if they each had their own unique way of messing with you.
Freaking Spike goes
That
and
would-
clocks out, has a cigarette in his
That
hand, like,
would that would add to it because you wouldn't necessarily know, especially if it's a random rotation,
yeah.
who's coming in next. You know, if it's a random rotation and a random number of like hours per shift, you have no clue.
To be fair though, gremlins could literally, I mean, with the way the gremlins are, they could straight up like never repeat. You know? Depending on how
But I
we are born.
You know, I'm thinking of ways to further torment somebody.
Right.
You know, if you have, even 5, different ones, and their shift is a random number of hours,
Yeah.
and it's a random rotation as far as shifts go, then you have no idea from hour to hour who's going to be tormenting you.
Right. And that goes along with like the Critters movies too. If you guys remember the Critters.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have names. They're just critters. So like you could probably have 1 or 2 or 3 of them torment you constantly.
For that, I would assume that isn't something that it's just one.
Yeah. Well, right.
Because like that is like one is like, okay, yes, that is scary, but it's still just one. What makes the critters truly scary is the sheer number of them.
Right. So okay. So all right. So we'll go with that then. All right. On that note, go back to you.
So they're doing shifts then? That's what you want?
Possibly, if it comes to that, it may not. You guys may be generalized. Like you may pick like Pennywise, for instance. So I don't know. So
All right. Let's geez, I came vastly unprepared. I didn't realize that we were going to actually discuss the whole terms of this. I thought we were just going to talk about which one would be the
Hey,
most pain in the ass to deal with. All right. Let's spread
you
them
brought
through
up
a
the
line
terms.
here.
so I've got 3
So do
on
I.
my plate, and I'm only going to choose one of those 3. But I'm not going to give them all to you at once. Just saying.
All right, let's just get those over with really quick then. Since thingamajigs. All right. Anyways, Phoenix, go first.
All right. Well, my first one on the list would be Freddy Krueger. Mainly because of his witty torts and everything, the way he is. He's just a complete a-hole. And he could do a lot to somebody, especially in your dreams, torment you in your dreams. Because he could like completely ravage you like in your dreams. And luckily, he was not going to kill me in my dream, so that's good. But that's my first choice is Freddy Krueger. Maybe it hits close to home because name wise and stuff like that, but I've always had a fondness for Freddy. Not so much 2010 Freddy, but or 2009 or 10, whatever it was. But OG, um, one of the first like slasher films I remember seeing is his, and he'd always have something funny to say right before he killed somebody, or he, it's like we talked about this before, like with the power glove. He's like, "Now you're playing with power," and like stuff like that. It's just Freddy Krueger would be. I feel like that he would, not only torment me, but we can actually hold some conversations. Michael or Jason don't really, say much. So that's my first choice. Not saying that's who I'm choosing, but Freddy Krueger is on the board for me.
He's gonna prank you one of these days by disguising himself or tagging out with freaking remake Freddy.
Oh gosh, that'd be a torment for sure. Hello. Oh gosh. Okay, I don't even think about that, but yeah. So, anyways, that's my first choice. What do you guys think?
I mean,
I can see it.
It's a pretty huge choice considering that the ways
Because
he can
there's
torture you are basically endless.
Yeah.
because there's so many different options. Like, you could be like initially having a great, wonderful dream, and then it just takes a turn for the south.
Yeah.
There's so many options there to royally screw with somebody.
Exactly. Be laying in bed with your dream woman, and then you turn around, and all of a sudden Freddy's just laying there, like, "Thanks for the love, lover boy," or "Thank whatever
Or
you would say."
it's
Was it
just
good for
it's the
you?
same body, but just his head, his face.
And the worst part about it is that he's making you enjoy it.
Yep.
I'm not looking at you. Can I put a bag on your head?
That's the unique thing about him too, is that he wouldn't exactly he wouldn't be in the real world. He'd be waiting for you in the dream one, so it's kind of a unique case where you're fine throughout the day. It's just you have to constantly dread about finally going to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, then you have the moments like, because like I haven't watched much of those movies, but it's like, how far does his control extend? Like if you're driving, like I'm sure we've all been driving a long distance and you kind of zone out.
No, he's done that
You're
before.
not
Yeah, he's
you're
done
not
that.
asleep,
Yeah.
but you're still awake, but you're not fully conscious either.
Yeah. He's done that before, especially, with his powers and stuff. Um, when you're awake and you're not wanting to sleep, you're gonna go days without sleep, and then it's all gonna hit you, and then like it's gonna be like, could you imagine that for your whole life? Holy crap, that's terrifying in itself. But also, I feel like after a while he'd be just like, "Hey, how you doing?" I mean, I don't know. But he would mess you with you even more when it came to that. So
He wouldn't even have to do anything,
right,
and you would still be shitting yourself.
right, exactly.
It's the constant threat of just going to sleep. At that point, you just get yourself killed.
Well,
Because
that's
Because
true.
the rules didn't state that he didn't have to kill you, but you surely could.
Yeah,
I mean, this is something interesting. He doesn't even have to do anything every night.
right. He can let it
You know,
recharge.
you could just sleep peacefully for several nights, and you're like, and the anticipation would build, and that alone. It's been 2 nights. Is it going to be tonight? Is it going to be tonight? I don't want to go to sleep because it's going to be tonight. And again, nothing.
Then
And
after a
he just
while, you
tortures
forget.
you by the yes. After a while, you think, well, maybe, just maybe it's over.
But it's not.
And then that's when he gets you again.
Right. So yeah, that's my first choice is Freddy. I think I went over the top at the start off with, but I really wanted that out there. I'm not saying that's who I'm choosing, because at the end of the day, at the end of this podcast, I will choose one, because that's the rule, right? We have to choose one killer, one slasher to torment us forever.
Yep.
So I'm just giving options.
What's your
Solid
next one, there,
choice.
Phoenix?
Well, do you want me to give all three of them now, or we'll cycle around?
I mean, I suppose so. I don't know. I thought we were just kind of generally discussing here about different slashers.
Well, I just don't want to take if maybe zombie, like if I say something that zombie,
So I'll go with the so I have three. Same thing. I'll do the same thing as Phoenix. By the end, I'll pick one, and these are in no particular order. So the first one I have is Patrick Bateman,
who?
The American,
American Psycho.
Oh, I've never seen it, but you're talking about Christian Bale, right?
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, because like to me, like it would be the type of thing that he would kind of like wine and dine you, and then just royally fuck with your mind.
Yeah.
You know, like he would play extremes, and you would never know which one it's going to be.
He's gonna. Oh man, he could set you up for so much shit too, and nothing would happen to him
Exactly.
because he's rich.
And
He's
I
the
know
perfect guy. Why would he do anything wrong?
And I know
Well, that's the
he
thing. If you
is.
tried to tell somebody about it, nobody would believe you either.
Yeah.
He would set you up for the biggest fall.
Oof.
He would actually pin all of his crimes on you,
Oh yeah.
and then you'd laugh as you're being dragged away by the cops. I mean, yeah,
Where?
that definitely that's more like taking control away from your life nearly completely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think there's much that has to be discussed about that because it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I do have a couple good honorable mentions, but later on I'll discuss.
All right.
So, what about you, Arson? Do you have just one, or did you have multiple?
I have quite a bit that I've completely come up with at the top of my head because I didn't make a list.
Okay.
First one is Chucky.
Chucky, I thought about, but especially if he's like, it'd be kind of cool because Chucky, if he was like your kid's toy, but he only messed with you and nobody else, and so nobody else knew it. Like, I
Yeah,
thought about this.
My hypothetical kid.
Yes, or or maybe it's that guy tied up in your basement. I don't know.
Here you go, buddy. I got you a good guy doll.
But yeah, so go ahead. Tell us more about why you chose Chucky.
Well, we all know why Chucky is going to be an absolute nuisance to deal with.
Yeah,
He's a doll. He can turn an anime. He literally follows the Toy Story rules. He
pretty
would
much.
look like a madman trying to explain anything to these people that he isn't. And I think I could modify the rules here a bit considering that over time his, actual, like his body, his doll body started growing organs and everything because he was bonded with the body for so long.
Right.
I'll just modify it to the point where he just doesn't have them. It's like as if he barely transferred his soul into it, so it still has the circuitry and stuffing and all that,
Mm-hmm.
the plastic. So I couldn't easily prove it by like, I don't know, cutting his arm or something. Uh he would just be everywhere. The trunk of my car, the briefcase, a backpack. He would be constantly sabotaging me by, I don't know, putting down, like, getting some oil and spreading it all over the ground. Tom and Jerry level pranks.
Yeah, I could see that with him too.
He would also, make it seem like I do ventriloquism by, like, freaking trying to talk out of me or, making it seem like I'm
Yeah.
talking out of him. Like, "Hey, you look a little fatter than usual."
Like it wasn't me, I swear.
I would never say that. Yeah, but you make that doll say it.
well, I don't know. I just feel like it wouldn't be like absolute torture like you guys. I don't think Chucky has the means to do some serious damage. Of course, he would still make my life miserable.
Well, yeah, especially if he can't kill
But
you. So it's literally he's limited to what he can do. So I think you're on the right path with that. You know,
Mhm.
man, that would be. He almost made my list, but another one that I have
I feel
superseded
like you
him.
guys are setting yourselves up for failure with the two you've already chosen.
Yeah, but
Well, the
You'd be the
last two of mine
consequence
are
of your
very
own
different.
demise.
do what? What'd you say?
The last two of mine are drastically different.
Yeah.
Are they smaller in scale?
Yes.
All right then.
And in order, like, you know,
I too have one smaller in
Patrick
scale.
Bateman is the worst, and then it kind of goes step down and then another step down. Maybe.
Mine goes at least smaller in stature one time. I believe bigger than Chucky. At least.
The leprechaun.
I should have never said anything to you about that.
I still feel like it would have been kind of obvious.
Well, I know. Okay, so I might as well just go ahead and go if you're done with your Chucky.
Yep.
All right, so I might as well just go ahead and get it out there. I asked Arson earlier in the week. I was like, "Would the Leprechaun be considered a slasher?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, for sure." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm not saying I was going to choose him, but I want to know my options." However, yeah, the Leprechaun is next on my list. I think he would be an absolute joy to have around and an absolute terror because of all the stuff that he would pull. He actually pulls better pranks than Chucky did. Okay, I take that back. Chucky's ultimate prank was in Child's Play 3. He switched out because I guess Andy was at military camp or something like that. And they were doing these military games where they had paintball guns.
You replaced the paintballs with real guns.
Yes. So they're all out there shooting each other. So that right there is like kicking it up a notch when it comes to that stuff. But I think
The thing with Leprechaun is that he has access to magic.
right, and he's magical, and all he wants is his gold back, and say something happens to where I find his gold and I lose a couple pieces of it and can never find it again. He would torment me anyways forever or kill me trying. So I think, I don't know, Zombie, have you ever seen the Leprechaun movies?
No.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, the first movie has Jennifer Aniston in it, a young Jennifer Aniston. And, it's did you ever see the original, what was it, Teen Wolf? The movie with Michael J. Fox?
If I did, it's been so long I can't really remember.
Well, there was a guy in there, his name was Chubby. And obviously he was a big, heavy-set guy who played basketball with them. And he's also in that movie. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I can't remember who he plays in that, but it's I can't remember his name. But really, it's not about the people. It's about the leprechaun, Warwick Davis. But he is magical. And with his magic, he could torment me forever. And people would never believe me in the same sense that, something like that is happening right before my eyes.
He'd make you live forever, or as long as you need to carry out your sentence.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about that. I never thought about that. Crap.
200 years!
Oh, that's his torment, is like he never lets me rest. Yeah. So that's my second choice is Leprechaun. I'm the Leprechaun.
All right, Bones, you're up.
So before that, I knew we were restricting this to movies only. So I have my next one is from a TV show, American Horror Stories. So this is not like the full episode, the full like seasons, but this is like little short stories. So her name is Scarlet, and I don't know if any of you have ever seen any of the American Horror or American Horror Stories.
I have not.
I've watched like
Uh,
2 episodes.
But so this particular episode is a family moves into a house that is supposedly haunted, and you know, basically what it is she gets pranked. She gets invited over to a sleepover, and they, can record her confessing her feelings for one of the other girls and stuff like that. And she kind of snaps and kills them, invites them over, and kills them in the house, thus trapping their spirits in the house.
Interesting.
So it's kind of then that she finds out that anybody that's killed in this house, their spirit is trapped there forever, and they can physically affect you in the house, but if they kill you in the house, you're trapped there too. So you have all these different spirits of everybody that's trapped in this house that all have different motivations.
So they would have to take shifts basically with you.
Yes. So, but Scarlet, she eventually leaves and goes out and starts killing people. It kind of ends with she's talking to one of the trapped spirits and is killing the person that made the spirit kill herself in the house. So she's a slasher in the sense that she does like stab people and kill people, but she's not like mindless. I'm going to go out and, just murderize everybody. But there is one of the reasons why I chose, I'm waiting for my computer to stop being a prick, is I will send you, Phoenix, an image. Maybe if my computer decides to be again, I'm still using my phone for internet, so my phone has limited ish connection here.
Limited cosmic powers.
So not even limited cosmic, like diminutive cosmic powers. So I sent it to you, but basically, when she does her killing, she's almost like possessed and she wears this latex suit,
skin tight.
What the hell?
That's that.
Yeah.
She can torment me any day. I'm just saying.
Yep. So that's that. There you go.
She just, with zombies, she's like riding him like there's no tomorrow. Then all of a sudden, just stops. I'm like, no. Is that what you mean by torment?
Well, so initially, I watched it because I saw that image somewhere, and I said, "Oh, it's from American Horror Stories." So I checked it out, and so initially I was like, "Oh yeah, she, like what you said. Oh, she could torment me any day." But once I kind of got to watching it and saw that in this house there are other spirits, and on Halloween they can actually leave the house. So it opens it up for actual torment.
Yeah.
Because these other entities and spirits trapped in the house all have different motivations, all have different levels of, mental issues.
Right.
Because like I said, one of them killed herself in the house. Others were killed in the house by somebody. And like, it doesn't even really go into detail of how many people were killed there.
Mm-hmm.
It just says a lot of people that it's just known as the murder house.
Right.
So
I'm catching what you're throwing.
You're gonna have to plan a one-way trip to Abu Dhabi every Halloween. Be as far away as possible from Luigi's mansion over there.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have even thought about that, especially when we weren't talking TV. But hey, why not, right?
Well, so like I said, when I made the list, I
Yeah.
didn't know that we were restricting it to movies only. So
See, and for me, I'm trying to keep it like a little less, conspicuous. Basically, like yes, I started with Freddy. I get that. However, I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm not gonna do the Trinity of slashers. Oh,
mhm,
Freddy, Michael, Jason. I mean, come on.
yeah,
Like what if Cocaine Bear was chasing you? No.
A bear.
I
You
mean,
constantly have a coked out bear with you at all times.
okay, so that brings me to this real quick. I'm gonna send a picture into the Discord. This was listed under like it's a who is the best slasher, and some of the people in here are not even slashers, but it brings me to an interesting a thought. Like like they have Elvira on the front for real. Uh, Jaws. Do you see that?
oh jeez,
Yeah, so Jaws is on there, okay? They also have so many others that I'm not even sure, like, I don't even know who a couple of them are. But, I know, like, Pumpkinhead. I'm pretty sure that's the Cocaine Bear, or is that a werewolf? I don't know. But my thought for my third one comes from this poster, actually, a little bit. But I feel like we could do a spin-off of this episode, and because they got, like, is that supposed to be like in the very bottom right corner next to Jack? Is that supposed to be like Poltergeist, or is that supposed to be like what's her face?
yeah, that's Poltergeist.
That's what I thought. So but that would, what about an entity to torment you forever? That would be interesting too. However, that's a whole nother story. So but that's what I was looking at. I saw that, I was like, well, this is interesting. I already had my list pretty much beforehand because I wanted to make it kind of interesting on my end. So anyways, before we go any further though, Arson, what's your next one? If Zombie was done.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's see.
And if you got more than 3, you can do a couple like back to
Nah, I
backs.
thought of one. Another one I think would be quite an interesting way of torturing me would be Herbert West from Reanimator.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I hadn't
He
thought about
would
that.
he would come into my life, like he would integrate himself while I'm just doing my thing, because we all know how the Reanimator movies go if you've seen them.
Yeah.
He always takes some unwilling, and unfortunate sap who he takes under his wing, kind of, and he, takes them along this journey of absolute madness, reanimating corpses and the like. And so it would just be torture of being associated with an absolute psychopath. Well, not complete psychopath, he's more of a sociopath. And just we're just Frankensteining shit. I don't know how he convinced me to help him out with, the whole body things and the freaking the glow stick juice. All I know is that I am now connected to this man's crimes, and I just can't back out now because I'm so far in deep that what am I really supposed to do at this point? He's probably got some dirt on me, or maybe he knows about the guy in the basement. Or maybe he knows of one of your guys' addresses and he's threatening to go pay you a visit if I don't comply.
Yeah.
At
Even though
that at
you
that
don't
point,
know that he's not
yeah,
going to do
even
it.
though I don't even though I don't know, I mean, from what we've seen in the movies, but at this point, he's here. I've seen it. I've seen the process of reanimated bodies. What what else am I supposed to think at this point? Like, it's terrible. And it's more of torture of, like, my life completely spiraling out of course
Yeah.
into something that shouldn't even exist in the first place, which is reanimating the dead. And I guess that also brings up the question, are the reanimated off limits when it comes to the no killing us rule? Because the reanimated bodies that Herbert brings back do attack him.
Yeah.
So
I would say it has to fall under the same. I know you got the whole thing that like you could end up offing yourself with Freddy, in a sense that, you know, like become
yeah,
tired and maybe fall asleep.
it went under the rules of, you know, the slasher itself can't kill you, but the rules
It can
didn't
cause.
state the rules didn't
Yeah.
state you specifically.
Yeah. I honestly I don't know. I feel like that it should fall under that categories they can't really kill you.
I would
I would say
suffer
that they
some
can't kill you,
serious
but they can cause you to kill yourself.
I would suffer some serious repercussions if we were caught by the authorities.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then in true Herbert West fashion, he would somehow blame it all on me and get away scot-free. And
Yeah.
that's how it would go.
Huh. Well, yeah, that's a pretty interesting choice. I'll tell you what, that my last choice is one that I was talking about earlier, is because when you combine uh a group of killers. Now, mind you, the thing is, these movies started off as this collective trying to kill. However, this collective turns into more of the saving grace in the middle of the series. And I haven't seen any of the later movies to see if they've gone back to their killing ways, or at least, or they just kill like help out the hero. But they become more like a hero than most of the in the story. And to without any further ado, let me just go ahead and send this to you guys. It is the Puppet Master.
Okay.
And it's a
Yeah.
group of 6 puppets. And these puppets are like, they really are. They're just like, they start off in the original, like you got Blade, Pinhead, Jester, Tunneler, 6-shooter. And then they have other puppets too. But those are the OG ones. And I think like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What was the other one? I think the other one's name is like, I don't remember. Anyways, Torch. I think it's Torch. One of them's Torch. Anyways, so these guys like are absolutely a menace. You know, they were conjured up and all this stuff, and they never talk. They just, you know, they're puppets. You know, but it's like some Egyptian spell or something that animates them, and it literally goes through and it kills. It's just, I don't know. I don't really have to talk about the Puppet Master, or Puppet Master, not the Puppet Master, not the one with Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland's dad. But Puppet Master has like 15 films, which I never knew they had that many. I knew they had a lot. I knew they had like 8, but they've made Puppet Master movies all the way through 2022. That was the last movie, which is crazy, right? I mean, this thing started back in 1989. But anyways, so that would be my choice, because I think that they would wreak havoc on me, for my life. But also if they are the ones that turn good, because all of these guys turn good. This is something I would say, like, they never got that chance to turn good. Okay. They're more like anti-heroes than they are villains. But I wanted to put that out there because that's kind of something that, like, off the wall thinking, because that's not like any of the others, you know, that we've talked about. You know, because I could have sat there and been like, Hannibal Lecter, I guess. He's on that poster I sent you guys. And then there's also Jack from The Shining. You know, stuff
The
like that.
entire room would be filled with papers of his nonsense.
Could you imagine that though? Being, oh my gosh, like, dude, I got this roommate. I'm telling you, he's just horrible. Like,
You just wake up one morning, open the door, and you're buried alive in papers.
he's like,
All saying, all work and no play.
What's would be funny with that is like, it's like, man, I've replaced so many doors because this jackass keeps breaking down my door with an axe, going, "Here's Johnny."
It's specifically the bathroom ones too, even in public.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, can you pick a different door for once? Come on.
Oh, this is why we don't get our deposits back.
Keep saying something about being the caretaker or something. I don't know.
He's just really weird. The caretaker or what? Oh gosh. But yeah, but yeah, so that's my third choice are the puppets from Puppet Master. There are a ton of different puppets. Like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute, no, that's not right. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There's like 27.
Had to do a freaking head count.
Well, you know. But
You'd have no more real life friends anymore. All your real life friends would distance themselves away from you because they thought you were insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I'm sticking with the core 6, like the originals. And to be honest,
still think you're insane.
Well, to be honest, I think it was more like the core 4. I think there was only 4 of them in the first one, and I think that was like the Blade, the Pinhead, the Jester, and Tunneler. I think, and maybe like Leech Woman. I think she was in that one too. Or so, but yeah. So that's my third and final choice. And after you guys go have a go around, I will tell you who my final choice is. My tormentor.
So, you ready for my third?
See.
Okay, so again, this is from a show because, like I previously stated, but so this one is from a show called Future Diary, and I haven't seen much of the show, but so the girl in question, her name is Yuno, and
You know,
she is.
Sorry, I had to.
I know. I was waiting for something.
I know.
I was just like,
know.
okay.
Sorry.
Oh man, I lost track of what I was saying. Okay, no, but so like basically in the context of the show, she so wants to be with the main character.
Mm.
She will kill anyone who gets close.
Oh man.
Like, and like any type of like, okay, you're getting too close, stab.
Oh wow. Interesting.
You couldn't leave the house ever again.
No.
I mean, like, based off what she's like, had no issue with like if you're walking in the street, that's fine. Talking to people is fine, but it's like people that start getting too close to like you're cutting in on my time with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, watch out, Phoenix! You're gonna go missing in a couple days.
But like I said, I haven't watched all the shows, so I don't know exactly what all happens. But I was just like, So
yeah. Oh, that's
there you go.
interesting.
I feel like this is secretly a ploy to get rid of Phoenix.
Right. Jeez, guys.
What? I'm all for it. Let's do it. New Supreme Leader host, Arsonist Clown. I will relieve Bones of his duties so I don't also get axed. Put him in a knapsack and then in a river floating downstream.
All right, well, I'll just take my leave.
On that note, I'm moving.
Forever.
I'm moving to undisclosed location. You will
Yeah,
never see me again.
zombie would never know that. For all you know, she probably knocked him out and like I don't know, dragged him to the freaking puppet warehouse.
The puppet warehouse. Come on down to the puppet warehouse. Sorry. Well,
Interesting.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It'd be just no social interactions, at least too deep, or any
Yeah.
that steal your time.
You couldn't have any, like, friends or anything. It's like, hey, I'm going to go hang out with your friends. What friends? Who are you going to go hang out with?
You have friends?
Why didn't you tell me? I can take care of that for you.
I'm afraid I can't let that happen.
Why do you need other friends? You have me.
It's
sorry.
not you, it's me.
It's not me, it's you. Seriously.
I gotta go hang out with my friend. His name is Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
You could use that
Let
to
me
your
take a
advantage.
crap on your bed first. Hold on, I'll be right back.
I mean, you could use that to your advantage if you wanted somebody off. You could say, "Hey, so I got this. I'm going to go hang out with this friend of mine. Insert name here, person you want killed."
The Death Note, the Death Ghost.
Gosh.
That is horrifying. At that point, it'd be like whether you can keep yourself from doing stuff like that. Because she can't do anything to you, but you can certainly do a lot to others.
Like you
Trip.
don't piss me off. You wouldn't like me when I'm pissed off.
When I'm pissing.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm not gonna do anything.
Can't stop
But I'll
me
just
while
say
I'm
that you're my friend, and I
pissing.
gotta.
I got a new best friend. What? Jeez. Oh gosh, that was pretty good. Yeah. So that leads us to your final choice.
I wouldn't say I had a final choice.
Well, I mean, for time sakes.
Of course, you and your time restrictions.
Well, you know.
All right.
Hmm.
Awkward silence.
Would the thing count?
I mean, I think so. You kind of threw that at me, like, huh? Would it count? Would you count the thing?
Yeah, I'm
Kinda
just
would.
fucking with you. I'm gonna go with the most obvious slashers in history. I'm gonna go with Jason Voorhees.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. And since
Now, imagine this big ass man wearing a hockey mask, just constantly with you the whole time.
Don't threaten me with a
You
good
imagined
time.
it? All right. Well, all right, Phoenix. We don't need to know what's going on with you.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, he would just I don't know. I feel like Jason just being there constantly because he has nothing better to do. He's not studying new ways to kill people. He's not reanimating corpses. He's not planning how he's gonna torture you next in your dreams. He's just there.
So does that mean you moved to Crystal Lake?
Not necessarily. I mean, I was also going to ask that one. I was gonna ask a question for Zombie when he mentioned the American Horror Story thing. Where it's like, did he win the mansion? Like in Luigi's Mansion, did he like win it? And now he's like moving in.
I mean, I would kind of assume that. I mean, there's different ways you could take that. Like, you could take it that you won it, or you bought it, or she started fucking with me, and that, I somehow, because of that, moved into, like, I was forced to move there. There's different ways that, that could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for the sake of not complicating things, because I hate doing that. Jason just every like a good chunk of time, like maybe Crystal Lake is like just it doesn't exist anymore. Let's just throw it out of existence.
Okay.
And Jason literally has just nothing else. But then he just he's just there now. Because what else is he going to do? Like I said, you're going to have just him around all the time, and you don't know what he's gonna do. He could. I think it's just more unnerving presence than anything. I mean, how inconvenient would it be for this guy to just constantly be around you forever?
Yeah.
At least for the rest of your life.
I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
because if he's just hanging around you, there's a potential that he's just going to randomly stab somebody.
yeah.
Like you're at Kroger trying to get some groceries, and he's just kind of standing behind you. Next thing you know, he just stabs you know the person next to you that's checking out, and you're like, really?
Again?
Now?
Whoa, dude, that's a cool cosplay. And then he folds him like a lawn chair. Jason, no! What are you doing?
What did I
At
tell you
least
about
let me
that?
get my picture with him first.
Jeez.
Be especially bad if you were, near any lovey-dovey couples.
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
Everybody stay clear. What would even like happen with the authorities? Like, would they just like? Because he's not gonna be able to be killed, and they're
Right.
obviously gonna trace it back to you because he's constantly around you. It's another one of those situations where it spirals your life completely out of control, unless he does it discreetly. Like maybe he just doesn't. Maybe he doesn't do it like obviously out in the public.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just hanging around you, and that's already unnerving on its own. But when there's an opportunity where it's just like, okay, no witnesses, we're in this back alley, and there's a homeless guy just trying to sleep, it's go time. Like that killing itch just really, really perks up, and you just gotta be witness to a murder.
I mean, you could also do it to where it's like you wake up in the morning and, like, on your bed, like a cat would leave like a dead mouse, there's just a couple body parts laying there, and he's obviously killed somebody. And you're like, and you have no clue who it is. You just know that somewhere someone is dead.
Not the sheets again.
Gosh.
You're screwed when you first wake up in the morning. It's like your first day with him, and you wake up in the morning, and like it's just his mom's shrine, like her head, just in the corner of your room. Just, oh no!
Well,
And
this day's already gone to hell.
he doesn't even open the door. He just goes through the door like in typical Jason Voorhees fashion with like a tray of pancakes or something to celebrate his new life with you.
Oh my gosh. I love where your mind goes. It's freaking hilarious.
Now hold on, we can make a killer sitcom out of this. Living with Voorhees.
Oh, that's so
How
good.
that how'll that work if you have that special someone over, since he can't kill you or, your loved ones, but you don't know that specifically, would it just would he just be like hovering over you like disappointed?
He's just over in the corner, and all you hear is choo, choo, choo.
He'd just be severely disappointed with his arms crossed like a pouty kid.
freaking.
He's just so disappointed in you.
That's hilarious. Oh, we need to get that made.
You know what? I'm locking in that answer. I want Jason Voorhees as the slasher to torment me forever. Because yes, it would be horrifying waking up to bodies, probably in my house or on my bed.
Probably,
But at the
there's no
same
probably
time, you
to
know,
it.
Yeah.
it's just it'd be pretty. I suppose I would probably never get used to it. Really, I mean, there's body parts on my bed, so.
Mhm.
But it's Jason Voorhees, you know, and I mean, like, he would torment you, sure, but also at the same time, nobody else would torment you. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you're taking a stroll through the park. Some guys want to mug you. Out of the darkness, Jason just comes out and like crushes his head with his hands.
Could you imagine getting like nice little notes from Jason saying like dinner's in the fridge, and then be terrified to open up the fridge to see what's in there?
God, what's in there?
What's in
It's like
there
a
this
live,
time?
probably a dead raccoon or a live raccoon.
And because it could be like it's like lasagna, and you're like, but is that like actual meat, or is
Yeah.
that like human meat?
Jason, I need to tell you. I need you to tell me what you used.
What are the ingredients?
And
What's
you
the
just get that
secret?
awkward silence.
I forgot what that guy's. I forgot the guy's name from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Was it the dad? He's like, oh, the secret's in the meat.
Oh yeah, I think so. Man, it's been
Yeah.
forever since I've seen that though. Oh my gosh, that's freaking great. All right, well, since you chose yours, I will choose mine. And overall, I believe I sit there and think Freddy would be a great choice for me. Like, but in all
It would not.
honesty, it would not. But if I was to choose out of the three I chose, I would really probably have to go with the Leprechaun. Like, I'm locking mine in as the Leprechaun. That is my choice for Torment for Eternity.
Ah, yes. From the ashes. 2,000 more years from the ashes.
Gosh.
The podcast that never
Oh
ends.
no. And
Welcome
see,
to our
The
200th
first
year of being.
the first 100 years, every 100 years is a season of From the Ashes.
oh jeez. And see,
Because the podcast members are either dead or too old to do it anymore.
no, that's the fun thing is because of his
I can't.
it's actually Bones. Bones Baron with me, and it's just a skeleton sitting next to me.
Yeah, Leprechaun actually uses magic to, you know, reinvigorate your dead skeleton.
right.
I'm
That's what I was
literally
gonna
the
say.
Bones Baron.
And Leprechaun would permanently cement himself as like the new co-host or the new host. Like, welcome.
oh my gosh. I was looking at that that one picture I put in there of all of them together, and I seen the what's his name? The Crypt Keeper in there. And that got me thinking. I was like, man, like you can't count him as like a slasher. He's really more of a introduction guy, narrator. So that got me thinking, like, what about narrating your life? Could you imagine the Crypt Keeper narrating your life?
But only you can hear him.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, that's on the next podcast, guys. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, so
We'll make a
yeah.
part 2 next year.
So that's my choice. Leprechaun locked in. Yeah. And that leaves us with Mr. Bones. I'm sorry, Doctor.
What?
I don't know. I'm just messing with you.
Dr. Bones. There's only
Dr.
one doctor
Bones.
here, man.
I'm a baron, not a doctor.
Oh, my bad. Well,
That would
Hey,
be a
come
hell
on,
of a
get it
title,
right.
though.
Jeez.
Dr. Baron Bones.
So if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Scarlet
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah.
Despite the fact that that just all the other ghosts and spirits would fuck with you like relentlessly.
Mm-hmm.
because I'm assuming that kind of like what we've said in the past, like since they kind of come along with it, they can't kill you either,
Right.
but they can make your life an absolute living hell.
Yeah.
As long as you're in the mansion or it's Halloween.
Yes. Well, I'm kind of assuming otherwise it's just because with it, I'm assuming that the other spirits and ghosts come with it, so I kind of have to be in that house.
Mm-hmm.
So for Boone or Bane, because otherwise it kind of loses some of its effectiveness.
Yeah. So that's your choice, huh?
You have
Yeah.
to worry about it once a year, and depending on how many times you actually stay inside the mansion, maybe
Yeah.
I would kind of assume that it's like I have to.
maybe every once in a while, maybe a couple weeks or every once a week, you like check into a hotel, but your closet in that hotel is a one-way portal for them to just come through.
Yeah, I mean
You
that's a
never
fair
you never
wherever I
escape even
go.
when you think you can.
We got pretty morbid with this episode. The
Oh,
I'm
hey,
things
just
it's
thinking of
it's
the hypotheticals.
the things we've thought
it's
about.
it's spooky.
It's something, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, that's yeah.
You wanna quickly dish out your honorable mentions really fast before we wrap this up?
Yeah, so in all honesty, my honorable mentions would definitely be Michael Myers. Um and I already mentioned Jack Nicholson from The Shining. I think we've already talked about him. Um so I feel like he'd be a really good one. Also we kind of touched on this a little bit, but uh what's his face from Saw? I just lost his name for some reason.
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw, Billy
Uh
the Puppet.
Billy the Puppet. And so those kind of like those honorable mentions right there would be interesting to see. Um I I I don't know how that would work if it was like Pumpkinhead, because Pumpkinhead's like terrifying. Also really, really corny looking in the older like you could tell the puppetry and that was just horrible. Pennywise would be an interesting one to have. Um
He'd
you
be like Freddy, but while you're awake instead of asleep,
right.
because he
So
could just turn into your worst fear.
you're there you go. Freddy at your night shift and Pennywise during the day shift. Like, oh my gosh. No.
You would never sleep. You would actually die of sleep
Yeah,
deprivation.
yeah. But we also didn't mention like Pinhead. Pinhead would be kind of an interesting one, but I don't know.
He'd
Uh,
definitely go through the stages of getting you into his kinks.
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But other than that, I've got one more, and that's Jeepers Creepers. The dude from Jeepers Creepers. I can't think of his name.
I
The
haven't seen
creeper,
any of those.
The
So.
Creeper.
isn't it?
The Creeper. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, but that's another story.
Controversial.
Yeah, yeah. And then lastly, of course, Ghostface. His antics would be interesting because he's clumsy as hell.
His
Um,
antics would be more realistic.
right, they would. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Those are my honorable mentions. Um, when it comes to that, I
Do you
would
think just because they're torturing you, they would at least let you use their voice changer so you can sound like anybody? Like let
maybe.
you borrow it. So like, I wanna pull this prank on Chad. Let me let me borrow that. Would they say no?
I don't know. I guess it just depend on uh whether it fit his agenda.
Better to torture you if they know more about your motives.
Right. So that's my thought. So that would be kind of cool. Like, hello, Sydney. what the heck was that? So, but yeah, I believe that's all of our choices. That was I've really enjoyed this. Like, I really did. I've been like, so since Arson has stated, I have truly wanted to do this. Like, as soon as it was brought up, I was like, oh my gosh, this would be amazing. And I'm so glad we got to do it. Just such a good one. I like the hypotheticals and stuff and the way we dove into everything.
I got it. Ghostface would actually be us. But you'd never know it. That's the whole point, you know? Well, you have a feeling it is, but you never know.
Yeah, not for sure.
So we would be the ones torturing you.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, can you imagine if he entered like one of your streams and just started messing with you there?
I don't know. I don't know how he would do that. Like, I can
All
see
right,
him
who
messing.
is this? Is this Arson or is it Fleur?
Yeah. My money be on Flurp. To be honest.
You'd never know though. We'd
Right.
play dumb,
Right.
or we actually wouldn't be Ghostface. You'd never know. That's the mystery. That is the torture.
That's so funny.
Like all of a sudden, some cloaked, masked figure would come out of the darkness and kick you in the nuts, and then run off. And then Zhombi would come running in immediately after, like, "Dude, are you okay? What happened?" It was you.
What'd you kick
What are
me
you-
in the nuts for?
What are you
Wasn't me,
talking
dude.
about?
Oh gosh. That's
We'd all be in on it, but you'd never know.
y'all would just drive me crazy. Just like the community that I put together is all behind it. Like, really? Seriously?
We wouldn't even have to kill anybody. We just
All right.
make you absolutely miserable forever.
Whose day is it today to mess with them?
Like when you're on your deathbed, we'll all be there, and then we'll all pull out our masks all at the same time. I knew it.
That'll be the
How
straw that
could you?
finally ends him.
Oh my gosh, that would be terrifying. I'm not discounting that at all. That would be an annoyance. And
All right, people, we're causing a revolt.
now I'll know though if it happens.
What if some guy actually just makes you miserable and he's just dressed up as Ghostface? Has nothing to do with us, just some guy. You'd still blame it on us.
I would totally.
But it would just be some guy you'd never. It'd probably be some guy you knew from elementary or middle school, who you accidentally maybe stole his chocolate milk or something, and he vowed to make your life as miserable as possible.
Kind of like the guy that went to the ritzy neighborhood to collect candy without you.
Yep.
I'm still looking forward to that one.
All right. Awesome. I think we've more than outstayed our welcome for this episode.
I love it though. I really do.
Yeah, well, we can revisit it some other time by I don't know, maybe doing what slasher you would want to be your roommate or something. Whatever. Until next year, though, because these will only happen once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for joining us this episode. We've come to the end of our time. If you want to check out more about all the stupid things we do and talk about, the link is there in the link tree. Look forward to 1,000 more years of From the Ashes podcast with our new host and overlord, the Leprechaun. And I guess we will catch you guys in the next spooky episode, whatever that may be. Be safe, don't do anything stupid. Enjoy the seasonal change, and we will catch you. Hopefully not in jail, because I don't know. Some of these guys are definitely bound to land us in there.
Possibly.
Yep.
At least
So
a 30-day sentence, from drinking,
Yeah.
because we've got to do something.
Or life.
Yeah.
Murder's a pretty strong case.
Just remember, spook responsibly.
Yep, spook responsibly. Goodbye.
I'm the
Boo.
leprechaun.